Hey everybody, it's Wolfpack Strategy again. Once again, Wolfpack Strategy at Facebook, or you can go to Huntington, Texas Facts and Proof. I have a site there where I do most of my promotion. My strategy site is for my clients who want to basically structure deals, and it's more intense, and we talk about their own advertising and things. So I've designed that wolfpackstrategy.com because I have information that that's client oriented instead of just, anyway, they don't care about everybody else, they care about their business, and I don't blame them. But anyway, I wanted to interrupt or do something different because I have had this third seminar I planned on putting out this week, but I'm not, because I just have completed about almost a month, but research that I put out, and I want to share it with you. So I think maybe it might be something that people are going through, that maybe this will give you a quick fix. Okay, so my research was this, is that I have been seeing, this is what started all this, I've been seeing ads come across or on the internet, emails, in the mail, flyers, you name it. They're flooding the market with this. Is our lenders, Quicken Loans, Lending Tree, etc., 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 etc. So I'm like, okay, they're starting to test the waters on the market. Why? So then I went into further detail. I started looking into it. So what I did was I called every lender that I thought were important, or actually had the big money, or actually how they were doing it. And basically what I found out is here's the way it works. First of all, is that that's generated just to get you to answer their phone call, and actually just for them to explain to the program. Now the products that they're advertising are basically are like 4% fixed. Okay. Now if you notice that it doesn't say how long it's fixed for, it just says $4.99 for fixed. Well, here's the story on that. What happens is that this is an old ploy in the book, is that they advertise that just to get you to call in, and then when you find out that, hey, that's not really, it's 5 years, they keep showing that fixed for 5 years, so it's like, you know what, hey, after 5 years, what happens? Okay, well, that's the part they don't want to tell you. What happens is after this period of time of 5 years, what happens is it goes into a 1-year T-bill. What that means is that you can be hit 2% per rating period and a 6% life cap. So in other words, each year you can be hit for 2% and 6%. They give you, they word it to where they say, well, you have the option. If it goes down, your payment goes low. That's not going to happen. They're warning you up front in fine print, telling you this is going to go up 2% per year, and it's going to go up. Life cap is going to be 6. So if you lock in at 4% for 5 years, guess what? You're looking at 10, 11% interest within 2 years after or probably 1 year after your 5-year period is up. And that doesn't happen gradually. It doesn't just go up gradually. It goes up that next mortgage payment. So that's what you're due. Now, personally, I don't like to sell these products to anyone because people don't really understand them. They were designed to confuse people. They were designed with the mere fact of the matter for them to make more money off of a deal. And I'll explain why. A 30-year fixed mortgage and a 15-year fixed mortgage, since the crash of 2008, government stepped in and started regulating these industries with a microscope. They were looking at the regulatory situations. They were looking at how did this happen? So they made corrections on how these were regulated. So these hit the market where there was a 30-year fixed and a 15-year fixed and a 30 rate. That was your plain Jane vanilla loan after 2008. Everything else was off the board. Now, America has a short memory, so what they did was they gave it a period of time, next generation. Now they're starting to introduce these loans that are more risky. More risky not only to you, but also riskier on the market. So in other words, the risk is priced into the price that they sell your loan to. So in other words, bottom line is they make more money by giving you these crappy products than they do giving you a good loan. And they're starting to advertise them now. When I talk to the individuals from from every company that I talk to, you're hooked in with a representative. When you ask questions, he just gives you a quote off the computer. He'll let you know about his 5-year fixed program and his 1%, 5% fixed, whatever. But when you start to ask him a lot of questions about this program, I'll have a senior broker get back in contact with you. What does that mean? That means he's transferring it over to somebody who's going to sell you. It's a lead, okay? I don't know if any one of you have ever watched Boiler Room, okay? But this is the type of practices that a lot of individuals use, especially telemarketers. And this is basically what they have turned to actually market their products in the mortgage industry, to get the word out that these programs are available. Now, how can they offer them if they're so risky? Well, because there's a lot of people that do need these, that can take advantage of these loans. A 5-year fix is pretty much perfect for somebody who's moving to an area, taking a temporary job for 3-4 years, and they're going to be out of there in 5 because of his promotion or his position moves around with the company. So he knows he's going to be there for 5 years. Okay, well, I'll take a 5-year fix and I'll be out of here. But that's the risk is what if you don't get transferred in 5 years? There you go. I did the same thing with a 3-year fix. A lot of 3-year fixed are available. Military personnel take advantage of these if they want to purchase a home option because it's a lower interest rate, and they know they're only going to be at a duty station for 2 years. So a 3-year fix sounds good to them because they're looking at orders within the next year. Risky again. What if you don't get orders? But everybody says you can refinance. Okay, but when you refinance, that costs you more fees. And trust me, when you refinance out of an adjustable rate mortgage into a fixed, there's going to be higher fees than you are going to have with any other typical type of loan. So, if we know that, and maybe it's too much detail and it's hard for you guys to listen to all this, so I'll just kind of try to keep it simple so even I can understand it. So basically, you're being sold on these flyers, and they're actually generating interest. And it's so easy when they generate interest is that once you get on that phone, they can hit you with every product that they have, not necessarily to fit your best needs at the time, but to make them more money at the time and sell you on that program. So this is the kind of predatory lending we saw back in 2008. How do I know? I work for Countrywide Financial, and I work for First Franklin. I've seen this happening before my eyes. I've seen these type of programs being produced that were crap for the borrower. I don't know if you realize The Big Short is probably the best movie you can ever watch on what happened on Wall Street and breaking it down like a shotgun. It's so right on and explains it so much in detail that I recommend it to everybody to watch who's actually going into or retaining a loan. I recommend it to all real estate agents, all mortgage lenders, highly. You have to watch this movie to understand the market correctly. Next product we got coming out. Oh, and the other thing I'm going to mention real quick is that all these companies are not based in Texas. Okay. They're based somewhere else. If you ask them where they're calling from, it's either in Alabama or it's out in California or it's somewhere or some state where they can practice selling but don't get paid as much taxes. Rarely will you see an individual who'll come out to your home and explain the mortgage program. No, they'll do it by email or they'll do it over the phone, but you won't see them show up at your house like in your days when I was working. Brokers had to go out to their house, or they'd call you into escrow, sign your papers, and they would have to explain it to them. So, many times I've seen many mortgage brokers or lenders, or I've seen representatives that when their customers would come in to sign papers they would go hide. They would get out of the office because they didn't want to answer specific questions. That's the reason why. Okay. So why is this important? Well, because what we have right now, especially in Southeast Texas, and generally when you look at it across America right now, our economy in the real estate market is pretty much stagnant. We are not experiencing deep appreciation or we're not appreciation, and we're not experiencing really bad depreciation. What we're experiencing is just a steady flow. Well, unfortunately, that's not good for the markets because they don't make any money. Okay, and they've got to shake things up a bit. As I've told you, the rate they're going to probably raise. Central bank's probably going to raise interest rates about a quarter. They can actually get away with a half right now, but a quarter will be too much to sell to the American public, so they're going to do it gradually throughout 2018. You'll probably see a quarter. You're going to see a half bump from what you're paying today. So those days of 4% and everything, they're over with. You can pretty much forget about them. Plus, it's very difficult for you to refinance your home whenever you know you're going to be paying a higher percent. So there's a competition there, and that's what we're starting to see with all these flyers. Now, real estate property as a whole right now, we're seeing that, as I stated this before, is that for sale by owners. For sale by owners are getting the sticker shock right now because the issue is that they're realizing that their home is not worth as much as they thought it was. They figure, well, they paid into it for 20 years, so they should have 20 years worth of equity into their home, and that's not the case. Because there's so many things that affect your property value. Some things you can take care of yourself. Some things you can't. Adding a new roof, adding a new roof on market, that increases your value by $5,000 to $10,000. Okay. Adding a ditch. My mom did that one time. Told my dad to dig a ditch in front of our house, and we sold it within 2-3 weeks. Little things that you can do to improve your property in the way that it looks. However, there are other substantial evidence, or the negative is that it's your surroundings. So in other words, if you have a road going to your house and it's intravelable or it's in bad shape, that's going to decrease your property value. If your neighbor, okay, doesn't really keep his yard up, or some of these type of things, then that's going to decrease your property value. Your property value is not determined about what the loan that you have on your home and how much you paid on it. That's ancient history. Your market value is at what it is today, and how that is determined is because they look at comparables in the market around your home and what they sold for. How does this affect you? Okay, let's say, for example, within 1 mile of your house, you've had a manufactured home sell for $75,000 or $100,000. Okay. It's on an FHA loan. It's permitted, but they sell it for, okay, we'll go with $1,000. Okay. That's a comparable. Because even though it's not like your home, it's the most recent sales in that area. Because in Southeast Texas is that we have so much rural that it is very difficult to find property that is sold within your immediate area. And we're talking up to 5 miles. So they have to go outside of the area. And this is where those comps are derived from. Now, how do they come to say, well, how is it comparative? Well, what they do is they just put down on, they just actually write down how your property is different from this manufactured home, and they give it value. And they don't give it market value, they give it your bottom line price. So in other words, your floor should be so much square foot. Well, guess what? It's not as much no more, because over there it only sells for so many square feet. It can go on and on. So your area affects your property value as well. That's the main thing. Plus, you have to consider in depreciation, because every year 2%, your house is going to go down 2%. I don't care what you do. It's going to go down 2%. So, also we see the second loans coming in. I think I spoke about this, and people, I don't recommend them at all, because those loans were the first thing that we seen that hit the market that were totally negative right out the gate. Now, what a second home line of equity offers, I say this a lot to you guys, but it actually is a credit card on your home. I don't trust myself with a credit card when I'm dealing with my equity when I go down into Lowe's, because I'll talk myself into, you know what, my house is worth it. That's going to go up. I can afford that chainsaw. Yeah. Next thing you know, you're maxed out from Lowe's and your house is upside down, and you're like, how in the hell did this happen? If you're going to do a second mortgage, you need it for home improvements. That's pretty much it, because that's going to add value to your home. Why? Because it's a second home, permitted, and the bank requires that this work is being done to a certain standard. We all know contractors, when we get them into their home, they come in, they cut corners, and they let us know that it's going to be all right, and there's really nothing we can do about it, but it's just fine. But now you got the bank on your side, and you can just tell them quick, you ain't getting paid until this is done right. I didn't say so. The bank, you can put it off on them, and the bank's pretty much going to assist on it. So with the for sale by owners, I'm kind of jumping around, but anyway, for the for sale by owners, it's going to hit them square in the face, or it already has, that they're not getting what they think out of their house. The best thing I can offer you is that you need to get in touch with a real estate agent. A real estate agent can actually negotiate with the selling agent to come up with a compromise better than you, because the fact is that they can actually go back and argue for your property value. They can turn out amenities to bring up to the person the property value. So in essence, they help you determine the purchasing price that's going to sell. I have no problem with a real estate agent making property. There's a lot of real estate agents just go out there and put up a sign, say for sale, and hope somebody calls. Then again, there's a lot of my real estate professionals that I advertise. I know they do more than that. I know if they go and they start helping, that they are glad to help their customers instead of just their pocketbook. They need to get paid, yeah, but they know, most of the people that I promote here know, you know what, hey, I ain't trying to rape somebody. I just want to make a little money here off my efforts. So I highly recommend, if you're going to put your property up for sale, or you're buying a property in this market, to look to your real estate professionals. Look to them, get feedback on the area. They can get back to you. They'll give you the comps. They'll give you what they think about the property. They can actually help you set the actual price of your home. And they'll actually set it to where you're going to make as money. You may not make as money as you thought you were going to make, but you still will be coming out on top. So talk to a real estate professional. I advertise them on Huntington Facts and Proof, Huntington, Texas Facts and Proof. There is a big question mark out there in Southeast Texas of what Huntington and in my area is going to do with this expansion. There is a lot of interest in Huntington. There is a lot of people who want to know if they can move their business to Huntington. A lot of people from Houston, a lot of people from Dallas, trying to get a fixed place in between that they can service both customers. So there is interest in Huntington, but what they'll do is they put their feelers out first. They'll set up a temporary office, or they'll assign individuals who will actually work on the real estate market here in our area. And they will look at the numbers quarterly. They don't do it monthly. They'll do it quarterly to get a full spectrum of what the actual activity is, and they'll make determination on those numbers if it's worth go ahead and going all the way in. They'll step, in other words, it's like I'm going swimming. I put my toe in first to see if it's cold. If it's cold, I don't get in. But if it's hot, then I'll go ahead and get in. Or not hot, but if it's warm, I'll go ahead and get in it. That's what people are doing, our investors are doing now in Huntington. Now, on Huntington, Texas Facts and Proof, I promote any business, regardless of what it is, wherever it is in Texas. And the reason why is you're just getting involved, people involved in Huntington, whatever. Well, okay. But the fact is that we need to have input all of Texas, and we need to have the examples of while they're advertising in the market, we need to see what's working, what's not working, and we're getting that where we start thinking outside of the box. Somewhere along the line, someone thought outside the box and came up with a very good ad or a very good promotion. I want to promote that business because I want other people to see it, for them to take hold and say, you know, that's a good idea. I can do that with my business. Or I don't have to do it just like that, but I can, you know what? I had the same preference. Anyway, possibilities are endless. So, a lot of people ask me, you know, why don't you really concentrate on businesses in Huntington, promoting them? Well, it's very simple. The reason why is because I ain't asked. They don't ask me. You know, nobody asks. People here in Huntington, Texas, what they're mandated to do, they actually have only a certain place that they're actually authorized to as acceptable to the community, and they want to have that support for their city, but they don't really want to have outside customers come in or merchants come in because they don't get to establish the terms. Going off on that, don't mean to, but anyway, that's how. Another thing that can affect your market is your local economy and your local government. With city officials, and you know, it ain't worth it. I just go up down the road to Diboll, and I don't have this problem. So, I do advertise a lot of businesses on here that I think can make an impact on my area, and I'll give them feedback on actually if they should go ahead and advertise in this area, consider pursuing it any further. So I take everything from Texas, congressmen, people that are running or whatever, because you deserve to get your message out. Plus, just by doing the videos, maybe I'm reaching out to someone who's doing a loan and hasn't had it, or first-time home buyer who hasn't had it explained to them exactly what that loan officer is telling them. If you want some advice, if you want some research done on the market and where you're actually purchasing or the type of loan that you're actually considering, hit me up at wolfpackstrategy.com. Yeah, that'll get you there. I also have a page on Wolfpack Strategy at Facebook. The reason why I have that one is because I focus in on the clients that I'm actually servicing. So yeah, that touches that. So the more the word gets out on these lenders, the more loans that are more good loans that people are going to be getting, because you're the customer. It's better to go safe than sorry. I mean, go into a 15-year fix with a steady rate that you know for 5 years, and if you decide to sell, then good. But you don't have to worry about a refinance, because, ladies and gentlemen, in 5 years, a lot of change, you may not qualify for that refinance. And worst case scenario, if you watch that movie, The Big Short, it shows you that these predatory vendors will come out and they'll offer you, well, you don't really qualify for A paper, but you know what, B paper or A paper, A minus, D, whatever. Watch the movie, it'll show you what happens to those. And then when you watch the movie, take a notice of how many people went in foreclosure because they didn't know. So, even if you go to a local bank or if you go somewhere to talk about loans, instead of making a decision right there, write it down. If not, check with somebody in the real estate business that you know has been there, done that before, and can tell you the ins and outs of what loan they're actually offering you and why they're offering it to you. Now, as I said, this market is going to be able to be taken advantage of because buyers are going to realize they have more buying power with their dollar. What's affecting this? Well, we've still got that Obamacare situation that's going on and on and on, and it's not really affecting the market, but it's out there. And if it goes sideways real quick, that's going to affect the market. 2, we got Trump's tax plan that's getting ready they're hammering this through. If anybody reads this tax plan, you can see that this is going to have a direct effect on the market. Why? Because our taxes are going to go down. However, what we've got to pay for to get to the entities that we've got to pay for to lower those taxes are going to go up. So taxes go down, but you're actually paying more to separate entities. What I mean by that is that whatever money we're taking away from a big business, we have to replace in the form of subsidies. In other words, okay, we're taking this much of a tax cut here. Well, you know what? You need to owe me this much. This is what I would have been making if you wouldn't have lowered the taxes. So in other words, politics, man, politics. Just shuffling numbers. So that's the next thing that's going to affect our market. That's going to be one of the major movers here. The next ones that are coming up are going to be, believe it or not, this Hillary investigation and how far it goes on when they start going into a special counsel or whatever. It doesn't really matter, and we know by experience that nothing's really going to happen, but taxpayers are going to be footing for that bill for all these hearings. That's going to affect the market, because the fact is that even though we've got a tax cut, the middle class and below are going to be actually paying out more money off of their budget. This is how the government, because somebody's got to pay for the special counsel, and I guarantee you it ain't going to be the government, or it ain't going to be the 1%, because they're going to write that off as a tax cut, tax rebate or deduction. So those parameters are going to come into play, plus the winter sales. We're really going to be determining on how marketing is actually going to affect the winter sales. I mean, for God's sake, they're having a Black Friday now before Thanksgiving. So with that in mind, I mean, who wants to go stand in line at the Walmart and get the hell beat up when they go in there? I mean, you know, so that's pushing a lot of people to do something online, purchase stuff online. And for those that are listening in the town of Huntington or across the board, I really strongly suggest that you look into online marketing, and you also look into online selling. If you have a knick-knack shop, I've been meaning to tell my dad. He is a woodworker. He makes custom wood carvings, or whatever you want to call them. Anyway, does a damn good job. But anyway, eBay. I mean, you can set your market. I mean, right now during the winter time, when traffic is slow, you can actually go take pictures of your items and you can post them on eBay. Go on there and say, I'll take this much. Like, I'll take $20 for this. Now, what happens during that time is you put it on eBay, you want $20 for it. Somebody else will come in, they'll bid $21. Well, see, eBay is such a big, or has such an impact, because a lot of people like to gamble, but they don't want to lose money. Okay? But people will get on eBay and say, well, okay, 21, and I'll go 22. And then somebody else will come in, well, I want to go 23. Next thing you know, okay, people are bidding on your product, and they're really not bidding on that product. They're just bidding because they want to win. Okay? That's a sales approach. They just want to win the auction. So, well, yeah, I've got it off eBay, you know. I want it in an auction off eBay. They don't really have to tell you how much they sell for it. So, online, check out your possibilities online, and if your business suits marketing with eBay or some of these other individuals, Amazon. My wife looked at eBay all the time. I don't go to eBay because I'll get suckered into that trap. I know me. I get suckered into that trap because I want to win, and next thing you know, for $20, I'm already spent $300. It happened to me on a knife that I wanted. So relook at the market, see where you're heading right now, especially for homeowners. It's going to be hard for you to sell your property during the winter months, but get it ready for spring, and actually tell a real estate agent, look, I want to be able to sell it in the springtime. This is when I want to put it on the market. Once you do that, that doesn't mean that the real estate officer just puts it in a file and throws it over. No, they take that file and they start doing a market analysis, and they start saying, hey, you know what? This is the best time to sell based on current figures. If you need help with that, give me a call or give me an email, wolfpackstrategy.com, and I can show you and walk you through the process. Well, some of you can even do it yourself. It's not that difficult. But you can pay attention to your market and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to get the most amount of my dollar when I sell during this month. And I know everybody knows that whenever you get ready to sell a property, don't tell me that you're not looking to make money off of it. Some. So, beware of your property value, Beware of your taxes. You can get a good feeling how much money you're paying on your taxes, how much your property's worth. But if you're not really that satisfied with those results, you contact a realtor and they can tell you what your market value is. They can tell you the comps, they can tell you what's sold, and they can give you a strategy going into the springtime on how to get your property sold. I guarantee you, if you go with a realtor, okay, you're going to get faster returns than you go by putting a sign upside your house saying for sale by owner and going to Craigslist and posting it. You got to specifically target a certain market. So, with that being said, this decreases my seminar on Sales 3. It will come back. I've got some really good ideas for that. And I will actually start targeting some other issues in the real estate market as I see it. And I'll try to predict for you. Because even if you are on one of these adjustable rate loans and they're going up, and you're in that process of it maturing and going up, it's important to find out, every paycheck, how much that's going to go up, how much time do I have before it maxes out. Maybe you can squeeze in a refinance in between them. Also, wolfpackstrategy.com. I used to do loans for a living. Now, like I said, Countrywide. If you guys look at that movie, The Big Short, you'll see my company, Big Countrywide. We're the ones that went bust because we saw this kind of predatory lending, and we were guilty of it as well. That is the reason why I got out of the business. It wasn't because the fact is that, no, it's just I couldn't do it no more. I couldn't sell these loans to these people that I knew they couldn't afford. As foreclosure ratings went up from 4% to 8%, somebody's got to figure out, hey, something's not right about this. So, that's past history. So, what we want to concentrate today is on the market, your real estate market, because even though you don't think that this real estate market affects you, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. Because it affects the business, it affects individuals that are in the town, the county, or Southeast Texas, because it basically starts determining property values. And that is going to be going up with all these refinances and all these ads coming out. It's a warning to let you know that there's predatory lenders out there because they see profit in this area. That's why they're here. That's why they're here. A lot of them are doing, like I said, testing the market to see if they want to advertise further here. And it'll be based on the amount of loans that they do here, if they want to continue here. So, hopefully this video will help you out on real estate loans. Hopefully it'll help you out on making a determination and to beware. If anything else, just beware. Like I said, if you need to have your business promoted, if you want to write an editorial, if you want to write a comment, post a comment from anywhere in Texas, please feel free to do so, because I'm a firm believer that if you post it here in Texas, is that the impact it'll have across the state will be benefited by all, because it gives us a sounding board on the way people feel and what people are looking for, and gives businesses ideas of what they need to target, and also support your candidate, or actually let's get people out to vote. Let's get started from the nutshell till we start participating. So you know what? When we do make a choice in the market, or when we do need something in the market, we have it. It's available to us. Let's put the people in there that'll help us, not the 1% and the elite. Okay? So, thank you for your time. I'm going to plug it one more time, wolfpackstrategy.com, for anybody that wants to actually talk about strategy for your business or for your loans. Huntington, Texas, Facts and Proof. If you want just to post something, I mentioned this. I post people and I support people that I know that can actually make an impact in my area. People ask me all the time, why don't you promote businesses in your Huntington area? Why don't you? Well, because they never ask. And I'm not going to go promoting somebody that's not going to benefit or put them in jeopardy with city officials. So, let's all take a look at the market. We're getting into the middle of the week. Watch the markets, watch what's happening in the news, watch what's happening and how it affects you and how it can affect you out on your world out on the street, and also affect you in the long term. This is Wolfpack. I'm out. Thank you for joining in. Keep good water on them dogs and feed them every day. They'll take care of you. I promise.